Today we are visiting one of the most popular day trip destinations from Budapest. We are going to Visegrád, which is a castle town in the Scenic Danube Bend. And today there's also a festival. It's a castle. It's gonna be a night's tournament festival today. And we're taking a boat, but not this one, that one. This one over here is a speedboat. We're gonna go for an hour. Let's go. Visegrád is a historic small town located north of Budapest, and you can reach it in different ways. Today we took the speedboat that's operated during the warmer seasons and docks in the center of Budapest. You can use it to reach many locations in the scenic region of the Danube's Bend, and the journey till Visegrád takes about an hour. Now the tickets for the speedboat may be pricey, but if you're looking for cheaper alternatives, there are some other options we'll share at the end of this video, but first, let's dive into our day at Visegrád. The town offers many historic spots to discover, one of which is the remains of the royal palace. However, before going in there, let's enjoy the medieval festival for a bit, as we got there at the same time when the royal procession was taking place. Now there are many castles all across Hungary, but this one is really special because there was a time in our history when this was the seat of our king. This here is the remains of the royal palace. And in the 14th century, when Károly Róbert made his headquarters here, he also invited other kings, the king of Bohemia and the king of Poland, and also some other royalties from Western Europe. That was the Congress of the Kings. And then there was an alliance that was formed between Hungary, Bohemia, and Poland as well. And today this festival that we're attending is also commemorating that event of the Congress of the Kings. And you'll see some knights fighting today and some other people dressed up in medieval clothing. Gyere le, ki tudunk menni.
Jövök. Ez mindig tart még.
Ugye?
Ki?
Vagyok.
The next interesting place for us to check out is Salamon's Tower. It is named after King Salamon of Hungary, who rose to the throne during a time of turmoil in the country, where many people related to the royal family wanted the crown for themselves. Salamon was thrown into prison at Visegrád, and legend says that it was this tower where he spent his time in captivity, which is why the tower bears his name today. Now the reality is that this is a false legend, and this tower and most of what you can explore in Visegrád today wasn't even built in his time in the 11th century. But when were these structures built and by whom? We'll talk about that soon in this video.
Now the name Visegrád actually comes from Slavic language, Slavic origins, because it literally just means castle up high. And that's where the castle is, that's where we're gonna go. We have already climbed a lot of stairs here at Salamon's Tower, and now we're gonna climb down so that we can climb up. My lovely producer said if we're already this high, why can't we just walk further up? But there you go. If you come here, prepare to hike a lot.
By the way, the Slavic origins of the name becomes even more apparent when you find out that a historic part of Prague in Czechia is also called as Visegrád, and a scenic town in Bosnia also has the name Visegrád. But let's end the language-related fun facts there and start our climb up towards the Citadel.
Fellegvár!
Now, of course, if you don't want to hike all the way up, it's about 300 meters above sea level, and it is kind of a steep, but also scenic route that leads up to the castle. But again, if you don't want to take this route, because maybe you are disabled or you don't have the breath, even we are getting out of breath at this point. However, on the weekends, there's a public transport bus which actually takes you up all the way to the castle. So that's also an option. It's kind of rare when it comes, but as an alternative, it's there. Or you can fetch a cab somewhere in the Visegrád city.
There are actually two paths that lead up to the Citadel. The one that we took from Salamon's tower, but there's also another one that starts closer to the town center of Visegrád, which may be a longer one, but the elevation gain is less challenging there.
We have made it. Finally. Yay! It took us about, what, 20 minutes to get up here? Wasn't too bad, right?
The Citadel is one of the highlights of a visit to Visegrád, not just because of the remains of the building itself, but because of the many gorgeous views you get of the Danube Bend from here. You can easily understand why this area is one of the most popular day trip destinations from Budapest, as you stand there and enjoy the spectacular view of the river wiggling between the lush hills. And as you explore the castle building, between each unique viewing spot you'll find, there are also different interesting exhibitions that will give an idea about what life may have been like for those who were living here centuries ago.
Now this location, thanks to the Danube and the hills, is very important from a strategic perspective. Even before Hungarians settled here in the Great Pannonian Fields, there were fortresses here, even in Roman times, but there were settlements even before the Roman Empire's time. But interestingly, the first castle that was built here by us Hungarians was not located at this specific spot. It was that small hill over there. But unfortunately, that was not built from very strong materials. So during the Mongolian invasion, that place was completely destroyed. Most of Hungary was destroyed. But Béla IV, our king, who basically rebuilt Hungary after that invasion, he ordered that strong, solid, stone-built castles must be built. And during that time, this castle was built right where we stand. Now that we have enjoyed the views from the castle, we're gonna head all the way back down because we are hungry. We wanna grab something to eat. Plus, we have tickets to the night tournament. We're gonna check that out. Hopefully the way down will be easier than the way up was. Let's go.
Back at the bottom of the hill, the usual festival food was awaiting us, and if you know me, you'll know I simply cannot say no to a nice Hungarian grilled sausage with bread, mustard. It is the perfect combination to make the hunger go away. And as for my producer, she chose a shashlik, which is a skewer dish common among people with nomadic origins, and also something that's very common at food stalls at festivals in Hungary. With our bellies full, it was time for us to attend the Knights Tournament, which is a tribute to the original Congress of the Kings that occurred centuries ago here. During the hour-long presentation, we saw masters of the bow and arrow and other weapons demonstrate their talents, performances reviving what kings may have enjoyed back in medieval times, and also a reenactment of a historic battle. It was like watching a movie but you were there, right next to the events, quite literally. Now, as we promised at the beginning of this video, if you are interested in visiting Visegrád, the speedboat may be the most convenient way of getting there, but it is also more expensive, and it only runs during the warmer season. However, there are cheaper options available throughout the year. You can also take a train from Nyugati railway station to Nagymaros Visegrád station, and from there, take the ferry over to your destination. There's also a bus for which you first need to take the subway to Újpest Városkapu station, and from the domestic bus station there, take the bus going towards Esztergom and get off at one of the stations in Visegrád.
So this was our day trip here in Visegrád, and you might be wondering, is it worth coming here even if there's no medieval festival? And to be honest, the answer is absolutely yes. I mean, the views of the Danube Bend are just stunning and amazing. It's a really peaceful and nice little hike up to the castle itself, and perhaps it's a more chill experience if there's not so many people because there's no festival. So if you come to Budapest and if you want a day trip, then I can highly recommend visiting Visegrád and other places here in the Danube Bend. And those places we will also need to cover in future videos. And if you want to see those future videos, then make sure to subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys in all of our other videos. Bye!